and thundering. And I'm over here saying I need a finish. Even everybody left. I don't care. They cut off the lights. I don't care. I got to finish. I got to do another one. That's the difference. You know, everybody wants it. Everyone is selling their souls because it's comfortable.
I guarantee you, after this fight, nobody gonna want to fight him. After this fight, nobody gonna want to fight him.
Hey, one thing I love about my sport, I could kill a guy and get away with it, so it's cool. I could kill a guy and get away with it, so it's cool.
Can't risk something you can't understand. Who I could just kill a man. Teofimo Lopez says one thing about his sport is he can off somebody and get away with it. So he can get away with 187 under. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I waited. I said I waited. This interview came out almost a week ago. I waited, and then I waited just to see if anyone would make a video about this. I didn't see really any reaction. A lot of people talked about other elements. You know, your boy Ego brought it to you first about the comment that Teofimo Lopez made against ESPN. They can keep their black fighters. I made a video about that. I seen a lot of focus was on that, but leave it to your boy Ego to talk about the other dynamics in the sport of boxing. And I waited to see if anybody else would pull from the same interview. Teofimo Lopez did an interview with Punch Drunk, and I wanted to see if anyone would have any thoughts about what Teofimo says. Didn't really see it. Now I have time, so let's talk about it. You guys heard it at the clip at the beginning. Teofimo Lopez says one thing about my sport, I can off somebody and get away with it. Now, this immediately makes me think of that guy from Tuscaloosa, former WBC champion, oh my God, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Because I distinctly recall when Deontay Wilder made, I guess you could say, similar comments where he said he wanted a body on his resume. The world of boxing was in an uproar. And this is what I tell you guys all the time. Boxing is fake. There are a lot of fake individuals in boxing. You're not mad at what you say is selective outrage. When Wilder said he wanted a body on his resume, people, they said, oh, I hate Wilder and this is a travesty. People were petitioning to have him stripped. I even recall the WBC, they said, this is unexpected. We don't respect these comments from Wilder and we want him to rescind these comments, which I don't think Wilder really kind of came out and said anything. But I watched the world of boxing allow Teofimo to say very similar comments. And I watched a week go by and I wanted to see, like I said at the beginning of this video, if anyone would talk about it. I seen nothing. And here we are. So it's funny to see the selective outrage for certain individuals. A lot of times black fighters, a lot of times PBC fighters, right? Deontay Wilder, I mentioned him, but also Devin Haney. I remember Devin Haney when he made comments that people felt did not reflect the sport of boxing and weren't a good representation, or they felt Devin Haney, by saying that, wasn't being a good ambassador of the sport. He made comments. He said, I'll never lose to a white boy, which was comments that people before him, Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins, said. So I don't know why Devin Haney said that, but he kind of paid homage and said the same thing. And same thing, the WBC said, oh, this is ridiculous. And they made Devin Haney apologize. Teofimo just made a racially insensitive comment about ESPN can keep the blacks, keep the black fighters. And he's acting as if ESPN has mistreated him to uplift black fighters, which is laughable. And now in the same interview, in the same space, he said that he can kill somebody in the ring. And now nobody wants to talk about it. And nobody has any commentary on it like they did for Wilder or Devin Haney, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this is it just goes to show you everything that I said with the double standards. Surprisingly, in the video, everybody started laughing when Teofimo said it. But then you hear Teofimo Sr., his dad, said, hey, you got to delete that. Roll the clip.
Yo, you gotta edit that one.
No, you can't edit that. Don't edit that. Don't edit that.
That's the they know what they signed up for. Everybody know what they signed up for.
Exactly.
Now, you know it's bad when Teofimo Sr. is the voice of reason and he tells the host, hey, you should delete that, edit that. And you hear Teofimo say, nah, don't delete that. So he boldly stands on these insensitive remarks that he just made and says, don't delete it. Funny enough, they didn't delete it, but the comments about ESPN can keep the black fighters have mysteriously been deleted. And you see people in the comment section discussing that. So I find it funny that Teofimo said what he said about ESPN black fighters, and then they deleted the comments. But then he stood on the 187 comments about how his job allows him and affords him the opportunity to off a fighter. And he says, and doesn't have the wherewithal to delete those comments. As I've said before, Teofimo Lopez must be, him and his dad, you know, for the things that they say, must be a PR person's nightmare. I would, you know, love to be a fly on the wall to see how Top Rank feels about it, but I could just imagine that it's a headache for them, because as soon as Teofimo doesn't know when to stop, you know, and he keeps doing it and then posting Bible scriptures and things like that, that's not going to cut it. So you already said the comment about black fighters, which was way out of pocket. And then in the same interview, you're talking about how you can off someone. Again, selective outrage only for certain fighters like Wilder and Devin Haney. And ironically enough, it ties in because we're talking about black fighters that have had selective outrage, and Devin Haney's on ESPN, and Teofimo let him tell it. ESPN is treating the black fighters so different than he. And ironically enough, I see it the exact opposite. Just in general, in the world of boxing, they're quick to make Devin Haney rescind and take back his comments publicly. But I allowed these comments unaddressed to see if anyone would talk about it. And just as I thought, almost a week later, no one is really talking about it. Let me know how I did in this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out.